I'm going to show you the process I went through to solve this problem. You can also find the final version of my code in the instructor notes in case you'd like to take a closer look. The code should look pretty similar for each file, so first I'm going to copy the code that I used before. Then I'll paste the code twice, and I'll need to change the file names and the variable names. So this should be dailyengagement.csv. This should be projectsubmissions.csv. I'll name this variable daily engagement, and this one project submissions. Then I'll go ahead and print out one row of each, and since I want to print more than just the last row in the cell, I've used print statements. And this worked, but anytime you find yourself copying and pasting code, or just writing two pieces of code that are very similar, it might be a good idea to write a function instead. That way, if you find a bug later, you'll only have to fix it in one place. In this case, the only thing that changed between these three blocks of code was the file name and the variable name. So I'm going to write a function named readCSV that takes the file name as an input and then returns the list of rows. I'll use this code that I've already written as my starting point. Then instead of the file name here, I'll use the input that I took. And instead of creating a variable, I'll return the list. Now I can delete these two blocks and call the function 3 times. Now I'll run the code again just to check that it still works. Since this function is so short, it's debatable whether writing it was helpful, but I'm happy I wrote it. For example, if I hadn't realized I needed to open the file with the argument rb, and then later I noticed that I needed it, I could update this function, rather than updating the code in 3 separate places.